I'm talking to the Senate Finance Committee pretty regularly about tax policy. I don't think we're likely to see any major changes in tax or spending policy that would affect, investment. Whoever gets elected in 2024, they're not going to be in a position to do major tax reform, to have major spending initiatives. We're waiting around, we're treading water until somebody does something about the deficit and the entitlement spending, which the political situation suggests is not going to happen.
We've rarely gone into a cycle like this. We have extremely high costs to add new construction. We've got continued surprisingly strong rent. We've got a job market that continues to be extremely strong. At the other side of it, we've got a rapid move in funding costs. We've got bank stress tests. We've got liquidity issues. We've got quantitative tightening. And we keep talking about recession risks. We're seeing people long-term want to have inflation protection. They don't want to sit in fixed income and have their earnings eroded, but they want recurring cash flow.
When you raise the discount rate on a fixed income asset, the value of that asset falls. The more the Fed raises rates, the more they put stress on banks. There were a lot of people who did refinancing in 2010, 2012. 10 years later, they need to get new loans. One of the ways you solve housing problems, it's not the panacea, but you build a lot of housing. We have had a big decline in life expectancy. Clearly, population matters a lot to real estate, right? Without people, you don't need real estate. Most markets now have an overall vacancy rate above 5%. That's very different from what it was 2 years ago. This shows you can build your way to more affordable housing.
Is there a fundamental issue with housing being an investment product? Because how do you keep something affordable if it's predicated on generating a financial return?
It's very clear in my mind the solution here is just more funding. But if we're not going to get it from the feds and the state, and the locals need to do it. So in the last 10 years, we've raised taxes locally, like you saw on the other chart, to pay for affordable housing. And we've more than tripled our production of affordable housing because of those resources.
Climate science is playing this role of Paul Revere, giving investors a heads up about emerging risks, given the known unknowns about climate change. I would hope that the assets you invest in have option value, so you can either spatially move your portfolio to physically safer areas, or you can take assets at risk and bolster them. Assets with greater option value will be more valuable going forward. And I claim, due to innovation, that the marginal cost of protecting assets is going to get cheaper and cheaper. That's what engineers do.
ChatGPT, it's growing faster than any of these other applications that we've seen. I had someone at work ask me, we have a TIMS report, a tenant and market report from CBRE. Is there a way we could turn this into a better table solution? 2 weeks later, I started fiddling with ChatGPT a little bit, and I turned it into a Power BI report. Now I could take all these PDFs and get this really easier way to digest the information. It's just solving this problem right away. AI is not going to replace your job, but someone using AI will replace your job. You want to still have both.
LA Metro is a complex organization. We had a $9 billion budget this year. Worked very closely with both the public and private sides on development of land. Built approximately 10,000 housing units in the region.
Our job was to figure out what was the biggest challenge facing LAX. We ended up kind of launching a $15 billion master plan to bring a train into the airport and pull about half of the traffic out of the central terminal area. And for the first time in history, connecting to Metro. We're also built the largest rental car facility in the world.
The percentage of people that take public transit is around 4 or 5%. We modeled it by using some incentives. We're able to move that mode shift to 12%.
When I arrived in LA, film companies were starting to merge with broadcast companies. Now things are starting to go digital. So you started to see a transition of product type and technology driving, in my view, architecture and design and real estate at the same time.
With COVID, some of these tenants were thinking, why am I paying rent on a stage that's sitting empty? Then comes a writer's strike. So right now we're at an interesting junction as we come out of this strike as to what will happen.
What's the percentage of film production that's shot in Los Angeles? It's 3%. Large film and medium-sized film has left Los Angeles. It shoots elsewhere because of tax incentives.
If I were to predict the end of the Ukraine war, Russia's not going to stop until it controls the whole frontage of the Black Sea. The beneficiary of all of this is the Middle Eastern countries right now, they now have become the alternative to Russia for oil and natural gas. I think that's the region that's going to actually become a new economic region. US, we have now become our worst enemy. You know how long it took me to put my first shovel in the ground in Valencia here? 20 years after I got approved of litigation. Dubai was built in 25 years. We are not thinking about policy making anymore. If you do public-private partnership, if you allow the market to decide what to build rather than hard zoning, which you cannot change and end up in lawsuits for 20 years over, we can solve housing. We have to do it how the rest of the world is doing it, because I can tell you, if we don't, we're going to be talking about housing shortage and crime and homelessness for decades to come.